about 30 minutes pass, and you guys are able to wait out the passing group of Oliphants and Haradrim. As they pass, you see again a couple dozen riders on wargs that are kind of going with them. And as they pass, also, you're able to get a kind of a clear count, and you're kind of chilling there, nibbling on your cookie, Edrahil. And as you count, the final tally is 30. There were 30 Haradrim, or 30 Oliphants, I apologize. With each of them, at least a couple dozen Haradrim on top.
Well, they pass. Do they see us as they pass by, or do we get out?
They all see you and they begin to attack. Unfortunately, no, they didn't. You guys, as a group, you succeeded on your stealth check, so you're good.
Or Dal was just like, well, done.
Do any of your horses still have any points of exhaustion?
No. They slept?
No.
I have no idea.
Yes, but some of them had multiple points. That's why I'm asking.
Mine had 2 before, I think. So if it only took out 1, then...
Odell would have handled 1, Sleep would have handled the other. So if it only had 2, that's fine.
Okay, then I have that.
Okay. Alrighty. So you guys, Torin, are you going to be getting on a horse?
Eventually, if someone wants to trade on and off, but I'm just focused on continuing the journey, so whatever is easiest.
Okay. Well, if you guys aren't all going to be on a horse, it is going to keep you pretty slow.
Am I able to ride the wolf? I'm pretty small. I mean, I don't want to disrespect the wolf, but I'm saying if you want to get on the horse, then...
Torin calls Wolf over. They have a little conversation in Elvish.
Elvish.
Wolf doesn't say anything. He just is wagging his tail. He sneaks him a little cookie, pats him on the head, and then he looks at you, Haley. He's like, he's agreeable to that.
Okay, like I said, it's just a suggestion. So
go for it. Just be careful. He likes to be scratched right in the back of his head, right there. So if he gets a little antsy, just give him a little scratch there.
Right, and then you can get on the horse with Dala.
Sounds good. So Torin hops on with Dala, and then unfortunately, Dala, he's talking your ear off as you guys are traveling. He's asking where you're from.
I'm sure Haley was talking her ear off.
Poor Dala.
Dala's the listener.
Where are you from, Dala? What do you like to eat? What about Chad? How do you deal with him?
Stop. Shh. Gotta focus.
Gotta focus.
Okay. Dala, for a Christmas gift, wants earbuds. Earplugs.
Wow.
Haley, how much do you weigh?
50 pounds.
Yeah, Hound Boy can carry you, no problem.
Hound Boy.
I had to do some math. His carrying capacity is 195 pounds. So even with your packs and everything else,
okay,
so you're probably not over 60. So that's
yeah, I'm 50 pounds. And I'm 2 feet 8 inches tall.
So just so you know, Chad is 140 pounds. So if we need to put another person on there to even out the weight,
Could just barely get both of the people on the
it's like
back.
the one's back legs just dragging behind it, and
Poor
it's just
dog.
like scampering forward.
Oh.
Stay on your own horse.
Hold your horses.
Sure. So
All
yeah,
right, John. So how long does this take us before out of the plains, my man?
Oh boy. Well, that's the $1,000,000 question, isn't
Going
it?
on another journey.
No, we're not doing the journey rules for this. So you've already passed the river, and you're coming up against sort of to the western side of the Emin, which I explained last time we played as sort of a grouping of hill terrain. And it takes you pretty much all morning before you get to that point where you're kind of up against the Emin and you start seeing more rolling hills for a few kilometers at least. Kind of breaks up the just the flat plain that's been in front of you this entire time. Now, thankfully, the hills themselves aren't so tall and so steep that it's not going to really slow you down that much. It's not going to necessarily put you under any kind of exhaustion, but it is a little more arduous than just flat terrain. But especially since you're able to get Torin on a horse and Haley on the hound, you're able to traverse the hilly terrain pretty safely without incident. You guys break for lunch. Lunch goes super smooth. Like Edrahel mentioned, after today, you're pretty much out of rations. So you guys are going to want to kind of keep your eye out for food. So whoever's doing that, let me know. One or two of you at most can do that.
What are you cooking?
I don't have below you who you have below you. So
I don't care who I have below me. Whoever's below me is gonna do it.
You pointed it at Haley.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly who I was trying
Is
to go
Roddy can Roddy hunt?
Roddy, like the Indian cuisine, Roddy?
What? No, the
have
wolf's
no-
name is Roddy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Estelle Rada. Yes, yes, I can hunt with him. We need to.
Yeah, I would say that would be could easily be a smell and or hearing check as well. With him.
Sure. Are we doing that now during lunch?
It's up to you guys.
Sure. We grab a quick bite to eat, and then I'm like, "Come on, Wolf. Who wants to go hunting with us?"
Is that part of survival?
Yeah. I would say it's survival check. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll go with them.
Okay.
Haley, are you coming with? Dala?
I'm
Edrahel?
really better at finding things in a city than
In a-
wolf.
Sure.
She's really
in
looking forward to getting to
in
Theranos.
a forest.
Dala, you want to join us?
I'll go. I'll go.
Yes. We got a party. Edrahel, you coming? You staying here?
If I go, it will be Chad and Haley that would stay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, I'll keep watch of everything. I'll say, don't worry about it. I'll make sure everything's safe and sound.
Someone's gotta stay with Haley.
Yeah, it's good. I'm a big fan of splitting the party. So
I love spending. Yeah, I'm gonna spend my time making sure the flowers in my beard are still fresh and whatever, you know.
I'm gonna climb up on one of the horses. I mean, are all the horses being taken on this hunting party?
I'm not hunting on a horse. I wasn't
Okay,
thinking.
I'm gonna climb up on one of the horses and then just get my short bow ready. Like just kind of not cocked, but like just kind of sitting on my lap with an arrow in it in case I need it.
And what I'll do while they're out is I actually realize in my inventory I have comfortable books, called comfortable books. So I'm going to read. Surprisingly, Chad, you know, he likes to read very advanced philosophical
They're picture
literature.
books.
Yeah, no, they're pop-up books. They're very different than okay, they're picture books.
All right,
Pop-up
so
books, I love them. You
let's
kinda
go
open, you
hunt
never know
some
what to expect.
food.
All right, I'm taking Alex. Just
All right.
Okay.
So we've got Edrahel, Dala, Torin, and Eldakar.
And Roddy.
That I assume that's always with Torin. All right. So let's see.
Are we sure we want to leave Haley and Eldakar or Nebuchadnezzar together?
yeah, they're fine.
Okay.
What's the worst could happen? All right. So which of the two of you is going to make the survival check? Now the hound can hunt separately from that. So the hound can do their thing, and then two of the four of you can make a check.
I have a pretty
Oh.
good survival, but I can make it if you guys want.
I have a +3, so do you have a
I have a +5, so I'm pretty good. But
5.
Okay,
what about you, Dala?
let you guys take that.
You say +3 and +5, and Dala's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, pretty much. I feel that.
You have proficiencies?
What are these modifiers we speak of? Dala, if I remember correctly, wisdom wasn't your strong suit, which is survival.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah.
Okay.
Not.
All right.
Not
So
strong.
is it going to be Torin and Eldakar then?
Yeah. Well, Torin. If it's only one person, then Torin.
He said 2.
It could be two people.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yep.
Yes, both of us.
Okay. Torin, Edrahel, go ahead and roll, and then Derrick also roll for your hound separately.
All right. That's not 20.
Ooh.
Okay. All
You
right.
see
got
more
it.
elephants in the
I got a
distance.
22.
I'm just
All right. 22.
Yeah, and then can my hound roll perception if he's hunting by smell?
Yes.
Or
Yeah, and he'll get advantage on that.
He got a 16.
Ooh, a 16. All right. So it's actually a little bit easier for your hound because this is kind of what he was born and raised to do, hunting and gathering. I mean, it's a pack animal is what they do, right? So he actually picks up on a scent even before either of you notice anything out of place or even any tracks in the ground. As you are in this area of the Emyn Muil, you notice that the snow hadn't come this far west of Mordor. And so the ground itself is mostly dirt with a thin, almost hairy-like layer of yellowing grass and brown grass that's just kind of sparsely protruding up from the ground. Not a lot of flora and fauna in this area, but the hound does pick up a scent. It's kind of going along the ground, and it kind of takes off in one direction. You guys chase off after it. As you do, you start to notice some very ginger tracks in the ground. The ground itself, the dirt is kind of hard packed already, so it doesn't appear to kind of take in tracks very easily. But there are some faint tracks as you're following your hound, and eventually you start to hear the sound of like this rushing water. You come in between a pair of hills, and as you're kind of going through the valley of one and kind of skirting towards the valley of another, you're kind of in the middle of all of these hills, and this sound of rushing water kind of gets louder and louder until as you kind of get closer to like the central area of this hillside, you notice that the river that you guys crossed about a day ago, that river is cut through these hills, and it's actually kind of been bisected with a hill and some ground and some earth in between. The river kind of splits, goes around, and then it comes back together, and it continues south out of the hillside. This section of the river itself, it's the Anduin River, but this section of it is known as the Sarn Gabir. It's this rushing, rapid area of river. You notice that the hound gets up to the side of the river and just kind of whines a little bit as it loses the scent. You guys kind of look around, try and see where the creature may have gone. If it stayed in the water, if it crossed the river, what have you. And as you're looking around, eventually, Edrahel, you spot just on the other side of the river in the central area where there's some grass and a mound. There is a pair of deer, which are very soaked, and you can tell that their sort of their manes and everything are kind of matted down with some water. But it appears there's a large one with pretty big antlers, and then there's not a small one, not like a child or anything, but a smaller one. And they both appear to be just on the other side of the river, in that central area between all of the kind of the rushing rapids of this section of the river.
Torn kind of points out the two deer. He's got his bow and arrow out, and he's stuffily kind of walking up, kind of with them training with his bow. And yeah, he's telling the other guys to flank.
Okay. So
I have a hunting horn. What is that for, really?
You
Like,
have a
what
what?
does that
I'm sorry?
do?
you have a
A
what?
hunting horn.
A hunting
horn?
horn.
I'm gonna say probably not below that right now.
So the best that I can imagine. Actually, let me check the book real quick. I would assume
We're
that's
here.
more of coordinating with a hunting party. So you can triangulate where the prey is and encircle it. I mean, that's kind of how you would communicate before the days of cell phones and everything else. When you're in the woods and you're in a hunting party, those would be how you would communicate with the other people in the group. I'm not sure what it would be in the sense of this real quick. So I'm just double checking in the book here. So it's a hunting horn. Here we go. Cool. Choose any two: a hunting horn, ink and parchment, a whetstone for sword sharpening, artisan's tools, or a silver brooch depicting the white tree. And that's the only time the word hunting horn is used in the book.
That tells us a
Super
lot.
helpful. Yeah, I'm gonna go with what I would have interpreted that as being. So it's more for like a hunting party communicating where you are and where your prey is.
Okay.
Not going to use that.
Yeah, so where you guys are, there's a river completely blocking your path. And on the other side, there's some earth, and that's where the two deer are. There's also a couple trees. One of them appears to be kind of, trying to paw its way up on the trunk a little bit and snatch some of the low-hanging fruit. On the other side, again, the river kind of circles around that edge, and then there's hills beyond that. So if you want to get to the deer, you will have to cross the river. There's no land bridge to get there.
How far are the deer from where we are now?
If you stand on the bank of the river on this side, the river itself is probably about 25 feet across. And then the deer are another 10 to 15.
So we could hunt them right now and then just try to find a way to cross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could.
Either way, we'd have to
Yeah.
get across somehow.
Yeah,
Get to deer.
you got about 40 feet between you and them total. If you shot at them and didn't kill them, and they could potentially attempt to run depending on how badly they're hurt. It's kind of a gamble at that point if you don't kill them, and they're not strong enough to get across the river. It's possible they could get into the river and then just get drugged down the river, and it's called the rushing rapids. So there's a chance that you could kill it and then it would just be carried away. So I would say you guys have had to live off the land for long enough. You know that if you are going to open up on the deer, you should probably make sure you can kill them in kind of one fell swoop.
Torin, what's your take on it?
Torn's gonna stay on this side of the river. He's got a bow, so he's just gonna train the bow, but he's not gonna fire until everyone's in place. And he says, I suggest we shoot them, maybe have two people ready to kind of run in and grab them. But if we shoot, make sure your shot is good.
Torin, stand on this side of the river. What's wrong, man? You
What's the river first?
afraid?
Okay.
Does anyone have a plan of crossing the river?
Maybe.
Because if it's a rapid, then it's probably not going to be that easy to cross.
I think as soon as we try to cross, I'm whispering all this. As soon as we try to cross, they might hear us. So again, I would say those of us with bows, let's try to shoot them. They might start to run. So I think whoever's not using a bow, get ready to chase after if we don't kill them in the first shot.
Right.
Okay.
I
I have
take
a
out
short bow,
my bow.
so I can.
Ready. Ready.
Are all of us using bows? Tornas.
Eldrihel, do you have a bow too?
I do have a bow.
Okay, well,
So-
why don't two of us shoot for
we
one,
all
two of us
can-
shoot for the others. I will shoot the big one. Someone else shoot with me. Two others shoot the others and get ready to run after them. If
At least one of us has to hit a deer, right?
We'll see. Okay, so who is going to hit the big one with Torin and who?
I will.
Okay, Dala and Torin, go ahead and roll your attack now. Edrahel and Eldikar, you guys are going to be shooting at the smaller deer.
Yeah.
All right, so both of you go ahead and roll your attack as well, but I'll ask for that number in a minute. Torin and Dala, what'd you get?
I got a 19.
Okay.
18.
Yeah, Dala.
19 and 18. What you didn't notice, this deer is wearing mithril armor. Yeah, both of those hit. Both of those hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
I'm using my barbed arrow, by the way.
Ooh, nice.
I just got a 5 though. Rolled a 1 on a 1d8.
Oh man,
That's disappointing.
that's really rough. That's one of the reasons I like in 5th edition one of the barbarian feats. I want to say it's Great Weapon Master. You roll a 1 on your damage die, you get to re-roll it.
That's nice.
Pretty sick. What'd you get, Dala?
Your damage, Dala.
Oh, 8.
8?
Yeah.
So 8 and 5 for a total of 13. All right. So both of those arrows, they both hit right into the deer. Torin, yours slams kind of into the side near the breast area. And as it kind of reacts in pain, it kind of like jumps up. As it jumps, Dala, your arrow flies straight into it. This one appears to get sort of like center chest right under the neck. Seems to have probably gotten it right in the heart as it kind of jumps and staggers and lets out a couple cries of pain. And about maybe 3 seconds later, it hits the ground and is dead. For the most part, a very ethical kill.
Is that it behind you, Dala?
Yeah.
It was Dala's that definitely finished it off. All right,
Good job.
Edrahel and Eldikar, you guys both fired at the small one. What did you get?
17.
Oh, I'm glad he hit because I got a 3.
3.
A 3. Okay, Edrahel, go ahead and roll damage.
Do I?
Wait, give me a
I
second.
don't add
before
anything. Well, I'm pretty sure even if I did add anything, it's probably.
Well, yeah, you would add your proficiency bonus and your dexterity modifier.
What else?
2 plus 3, so 8 technically. Probably still no. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was the number you cut out for me a little bit?
8.
8 does miss, unfortunately.
I kind of figured that. Okay.
Deers are kind of agile, so even though they don't really have any armor, their AC is like 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
So it's all up to me then?
Yes, sir.
So up to you.
Wonderful.
MVP.
Okay, let me think about this to see if I need to use something else.
Oh, I don't know if you.
Aren't
you
you rolling
already.
damage? What are you?
You already
I know, right?
made your attack roll.
I'm confused.
Do I get advantage on damage? Like, what
Let me think about this. Maybe I actually rolled an actual 20. And
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing because I have this thing that with the Wood Elf magic, if I spend 1 hit die, then I get a critical hit.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well,
I
mean,
take
it's
it back. I'm sorry, I was making fun of you.
Take it back. Take it back.
Okay, what is,
Fine.
that's a wood elf ability you said?
Yeah, wood elf magic.
Wood elf magic. Okay, I'm gonna double check the wording on that just because usually those kinds of abilities you have to call before you use.
Fine, it's okay. I could just use a normal one. Oh, wait.
Season-
No, hold on. Don't worry. I'm here for you, Gabe. I'm here.
He's here for you. Don't trust him. Don't trust him.
You
Now I
ain't
get
there.
17.
I know. That's why I said don't trust him.
Eldakar, you trying to find a dice that works for you?
Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have this one. If I get a good roll on this one, I would probably be able to kill the small one without using the critical thing. If I get a good roll, if not,
But you
I'll-
already rolled.
but for
Somewhat damage.
hit, I'm
For
talking
damage.
about damage.
Okay, I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't see this. Where do you see it?
It's on page 108.
Okay, that's weird. It's not on 42 where the actual wood elf race is.
Oh, it's a cultural virtue.
Oh, it's a virtue. Gotcha.
He's got a virtue.
You're so virtuous.
Wow.
Also, yay, virtues. Those are fun. I'm glad that you're using them.
Wow.
So I'm gonna leave it for this is more out of a. What do you guys say? Should I, if I get the opportunity, should I do it or not?
Why not?
Yes.
That way I
Yeah.
don't have any say in it.
But you might as well use it.
You can hear you
Don't
can
know.
hear
The next time
Chad's
you'll have
voice
the
in the
opportunity to use
back of your
this
mind.
virtue.
So that's
Get it.
the ability stinging arrow. I
Yes.
will say, the way that it's worded, it wouldn't inhibit you from using it right now in this moment. However, in the future, the way that it's worded, spend a hit die to make an automatic ranged critical hit, tells me you don't even have to roll a d20. You can spend a hit die and you just automatically hit and it's a crit. You don't use that to turn a hit into a crit. You use that to just automatically hit and it's a crit. That's basically like, I mean, you get to use like spend a hit die, but really that's basically Legolas, right? Every time he hit, it was always a crit and he didn't miss. So it's that kind of a thing. So you're level 4, so you have 4 hit die. So basically 4 times a day at most. You could just choose to automatically hit and it's a crit.
All right, I'll do that just in case. Cool.
Okay.
Let's go for it. I got a 12 in the normal roll, so 24 since it's doubled.
I love how you're spitting magic to kill a deer. Poor deer, just sitting there nibbling. Bambi just got hit with a magic arrow.
Now,
It's usually the kind of information that I don't share with the party because it's like meta info.
the
But-
HP.
Deer's got 5 hit points, bro. Come on.
I was just making sure, man. I was
Right,
just
the,
like,
the
oh.
chunkier deer had 7, so it actually needed Dala to hit to kill it, but this had 5 hit points. You did base 12, total of 24. That deer has never existed. You just hit it with balefire and it's just gone. Its thread has been burned from the
Just
wheel
wanted
of
to
light.
cook
So you're saying that I could have hunted the elephants?
Unfortunately, no. As I've explained, the ones in front were blocking the ones. Anyway, so yeah, you managed to very handily kill that deer.
Very handily.
The gentle deer, almost a doe, really. As the big papa deer bled out on the ground, the other deer wails out.
He was
This
impaled
is
and
the
broken
kind of
behind it.
content our
And it-
audience comes for.
Oh yeah, the tree right.
Yeah, you killed Bambi just fine. There's no problem.
Oh, this is the Bambi backstory right here. That's this.
Torn stands up.
This
and
is
he
gonna come back
high-fives-
to haunt us.
Torn high fives Dala. Great shot. And then he pats Eldakar on the shoulder. Hey, it's okay, man. You get it next time. Then he looks at Edrahel and like, a bit much, don't you think?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Your arrow went through the heart, came out the backside, and like pinged into a tree on the other side of the river. and like the bark around where the arrow
gosh.
like hit like broke off. Like there's like a chunk about 8 inches wide of bark that was just stripped from the tree as the arrow landed into it. That arrow got some force behind it. Yeah.
Torin
I
kind
don't
of
know if
chuckles.
that's the thing to be proud
and
of, but okay.
he
I tell
says,
everybody you gotta tell Chad about it.
Torin says, Edrahel, I now name you Deerbane. Great job.
Tremaine.
Deerbane. I like it.
Dear
I
Bane.
like it. All right. So you have 2 successfully killed deer that did not make it into the river. How would you guys like to cross the river?
Is it 25 feet?
About 25 feet wide. You could scout around and see if there's a narrower part, but at most you'd save yourself a couple feet. But if you think that's important, go for it.
Torin would scout around.
Yep.
Usually he would let someone bigger grab the deer, and that's probably what he would do, but he wants to get his arrow back. So he's gonna try to find kind of their place, and then he's gonna do some acrobatic jumps to try to make it across.
Okay.
Yeah, actually thinking about it. Oh wait, before you go with that,
Go for it.
if I were to jump with Alagos, what's Alagos's like long jump thing range?
I can tell you it's not 25 feet, but let me double check what 5e says here.
Like 30, 40?
Oh yeah, definitely. A horse making a long jump clears distance equal to dexterity score. So yeah, even Alagos, even though he's like a nice elvish horse, his dex score is going to be about 15, which means with a running start, he can clear 15 feet
Okay.
in a long jump. Yeah.
Never mind.
Which is impressive and very useful and all of that. But unfortunately, this area of the river is just a little bit too rapid.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So then Torin was talking about doing some acrobatic stuff to be able to cross.
So humans, well, not even just humans, but players can't even jump that far in a long jump in 5e mechanics. Not even the length that the horse could.
Is there like a
Jumping
branch
alone.
hanging over the water somewhere?
Yeah, I was gonna say that, or like a tree.
Yeah, as
maybe?
you scan around the perimeter, there's no branches that are just like billowing out over the river or anything. But there are a few trees in this area where, with it being right next to the river, none of the trees again have any branches that extend the distance of the river. But eyeballing it, it's possible you could attempt to fell a tree and see if you can get it to bridge the gap.
Let's
How
do
about
that.
one of those? Go ahead, Dala.
I just said let's do that.
Torin looks
I
at
was kind of
Edrahel's like,
thinking if anyone had a rope, maybe we could like tie a rope to the branch and swing across.
it's a good idea. I have a grappling hook. I don't know if I have a rope. I don't have a rope in my inventory, but I have a grappling hook for some reason.
You could certainly try. I would say to that, you would have to clear a lot of other branches because this tree doesn't have 2 branches. So if you actually want to like swing and get any kind of distance, you'd have to clear all the branches that would impede the rope. Certainly potentially possible if you want to take probably close to an hour trimming all the branches first.
Okay, so
they're expendable. They're just thoughts in your mind. It's okay. Just do it.
if you have that grappling hook, couldn't you grab to a tree on the other side and then just like pull yourself there?
Possibly. Does anyone have any rope? I don't think I have rope for some reason.
He
Unless
has,
does that
he has the head of the grappling hook, but he does not have rope that is attached to it.
What?
Tell us in the comment section, how would you have done this?
Tell us how stupid we are for
I
trying
mean,
to take this
every
out.
player
Figure
should
out how to
have.
cross
I mean, you should have 50 feet of rope. That's just a basic necessity for every player, guys. Come on. If
Yeah,
anyone
I
has
have-
any kind of adventuring pack that's like just a core starting pack, it's got rope in it.
I thought I have
Yeah.
a backpack, but it doesn't say
Have
what's in the
saddlebag.
backpack.
If you have an explorer's pack or an adventuring pack, like all of the base packs, if you picked one of those instead of picking out your gear and weapon at the start, when you built your character, it would have rope in that pack.
Not mine.
I
Backpack.
have
Bag.
traveling gear for current season, whatever the heck that means.
Everyone thought that they knew better,
Everyone.
and
Everyone.
here they have been proven wrong. I know Haley's got rope, but she ain't there.
I think we have starting equipment. I think in the
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings thing, I don't think it mentions like packs specifically. So
Gotcha.
it
I
just
mean, if
says
you-
gear
if
for
you
the
have-
season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna roll a d20. Hey, Torin. You say even or odd. If you're correct, someone's got rope. I'm giving you guys a 50-50 chance since you guys weren't that specific when you built your character. I'm gonna be nice, give you a 50-50 shot. So I'm gonna roll a d20. You say even or odd, and if you're right, you have rope.
We're going even.
Going even? All right. You want me to move my camera and do this on camera?
Yes.
I trust you
Trust
either way.
Oh, do you? Oh, you know what? Here. Let me do it this way. One moment.
You sharing your screen?
I'm going to. Yes, I'm going to have
Dice
Google
roll.
That's
Share
right.
screen.
Google
Yeah.
roll a d20 here. I'm going to share my screen for all of our audience at home. Share screen. There
Insert
we go.
epic music here.
Hashtag not sponsored.
All right, screen pause. 1 second. Here we go.
Wow.
Okay,
I also have a bunch of tabs.
Google is not a sponsor.
here we go. Roll a d20. You said evens, right?
Yay!
There it is.
Does that mean we all have rope?
That means Torin and Edrahel has rope. Nebuchadnezzar isn't there. Haley isn't there. I would say,
Well, Haley said that she had rope already.
yeah, but she's not there.
I'm not there.
Oh, gotcha.
Eldikar and Dala, what are your wisdom scores?
I have pretty good wisdom, I think.
Uh,
Oh,
13.
well, kind of.
13?
Mine's a 12.
Hey, 12 or higher, I would say your character's wise enough to have a rope. So yeah, both of you guys got rope. You're good. All right, so you have rope, you have a grappling hook. Are you going to attempt to hook a tree on the other side?
I'll let you guys decide. I give you guys the thing, so we can either do that. Dala had mentioned maybe felling a tree. I'll let the party decide.
How long is said rope?
It's a 50-foot rope.
Okay.
That's the standard adventuring length that comes. You guys
can
can
tie
cut it
some
shorter
together.
if you want, but the standard length is 50 foot.
Oh, 50's fine. The longer, the better.
50's fine.
So Torin's letting the group decide. So Dala, Edrahel, and Eldikar, what are you guys going to try to do? Are you going to hook a rope on your side and attempt to swing? Or are you going to hook the rope on the other side and pull yourself across?
I feel like it would be easier to
Pull across.
pull across, yeah, than try and swing.
Yeah.
If I was a player, I would
Because,
say the same thing. So, okay.
The chances of us not swinging all the way across and falling in the river is very high.
Okay. All right. So who's going to do the chucking?
Okay, that's gonna be for acrobatics, athletics. What is it?
This is
I
going
feel
to be
like that
a
would
ranged
be.
weapon attack.
Or
Oh,
wait, say it again.
It's a ranged weapon
A
attack.
range-
So it's going to use your dexterity, and I'm going to say not your proficiency bonus. This would definitely be improvised. I would say, I'll put it this way. If you're proficient in survival, then I'll let you use your proficiency bonus. But otherwise, it's a dexterity modifier only.
I am proficient in survival.
Me
I'm
too.
good at dexterity. So, do you want to try it,
Okay.
Edrahel, or?
I'll do it. I have either
I wanna do it.
dexterity or survival. I'm okay with that.
Based off current events, I'm gonna say not me, because knowing my rolls, I'm gonna roll like a 5.
Another one, probably. Okay, Edrahel, you have secured the rope to the grappling hook.
Don't drop it in the
that
river.
D20. Natural 1. Natural.
Wait.
Don't hook Derrick on the back cast before you.
That's
You
Guess what I got.
Dark bait. If it's a natural 20, I'm gonna come over to your house once COVID is over and punch you in the face.
Natural 20.
Can you film yourself
Alright.
hitting Gabe?
You now have to punch Gabe in the
I
face.
do. I've committed to it. Now I have to punch Gabe in the face.
Oh boy.
All right. All
We'll
right.
make
all
sure
right,
to
all right.
record this.
So, okay. You get to the river. You notice food on the other side. You recall that you're running low on food, and you're like, we got to do it. We got to do it. And there's just this silent moment while the grappling hook just flies across the river as you hear the rope going as it's being pulled from the coil that's resting on the ground. The grappling hook soars across. There's no trees. I'm kidding. I would have told you. It manages to snag into like a branchy area. You can't get keen eyes on necessarily where it fell, but you give it a couple really strong tugs. A couple of you join in, all three of you kind of give a pull. You want to make sure this thing can really, handle it. Doesn't appear to be budging. Looks like you managed to get it wrapped around something in there. And for now, at least, it appears to be very solidly held within a tree on the opposing side of the river. Is there anything else you would like to do before you cross?
Yes. Tied around, really tied around one of the trees on this side.
I was really hoping you would say that. Okay, cool. Go ahead and make whoever's going to do that. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check to get the rope wrapped around and get a good knot.
Can't all of us do it? We wouldn't be able to, like, just in case.
Either two of you can roll, or one with advantage if someone wants to help.
All right, that's dexterity. Who has a good dexterity?
I have good dexterity.
Yeah. But,
Go
All
ahead.
right, so Torin and Eldikar.
oh, Andrew, how are you doing it?
Both roll or no?
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Are we both rolling, or are we giving
it's up to
someone
you guys.
advantage?
Either both of you guys or one of you gets advantage. Let me know what you want to do.
I'll roll. I just want to roll.
All right.
You want to roll? Okay, I'll give you advantage.
All right.
Do it, Eldikar.
Sleight of hand check. Roll
Okay.
twice. Take the higher.
Okay, good. The first one was a 3, but the second one's a 19.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it. That'll do it. As you tie off the rope, you have enough left over, about 15 feet or so. You're able to wrap it, loop it around the trunk, which is actually a pretty sturdy trunk, about 3 feet wide. You get it wrapped around the trunk several times, and you're able to do a couple knots throughout that process and really get what appears to be relatively taut. It's not perfectly taut. This kind of material as well. It sags a little bit near the river, but it still should be relatively safe as long as you don't get ripped off of the rope by the sheer force of the river itself. You should be able to make your way across and hopefully back across. So who's going to go first?
If I add my +5, will it make it a perfect knot?
It will be no better than it currently is.
Okay.
But remember the +5 next time. Who's going
I'll
first?
make it first. I'll make it through first.
All right, Edrahel, you step onto the bank.
Left.
You say
Go
last.
last.
He's like, all right, if the rope doesn't break after y'all three big boys go, then I'll be safe. But if it does break, I ain't dying. Fair enough. Edrahel, you get to the bank of the river. You pick up the rope, and you step into the river.
Whew.
A little chilly. Yeah. And actually, as soon as you step into like the first little bit where it's just a couple inches wide, it's moving so quick that it kind of hits your shins, and on the side of your leg that's facing upstream, it just kind of like the water slams into it and then just kind of like shoots straight up and gets like a foot up your pant leg, like near your knee. And it's just really cold. It's really cold. Like it was snowing yesterday. It's really, really cold. You start to wade into the river. Or is anyone going around the same time? Or are you guys going to wait for him to cross?
Let's see if he survives.
I'll go behind him. Why not?
All right. So you get about 5 feet in. You're now about waist deep almost. And Eldikar, you start in behind him. Edrahel, you're now waist deep in water that is moving extremely fast. Even though you're only waist deep, you can no longer keep your feet on the ground. The water is moving too quick. You are basically holding onto the rope while your body is being pulled sideways, and it's all upper body as you pull yourself across the river. So I'm going to need an athletics check. And unfortunately, no, this is not acrobatics because there are no spins, flips, or other fancy moves that you can do to kind of spin your way to the other side. Unfortunately, it's at this point brute strength if you can get across.
What if we type rope to cross? Would that be considered acrobatics?
Based on the sag of the rope, if you did attempt to tight rope, somewhere around the middle of the river, it would dip into the water, and it would be a bad day for you.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Athletics check. What'd you get?
9.
9. Okay. As you're moving across, there's a small rock, maybe 3 or 4 inches wide, that happened to get caught up at some point in the river, and you just feel it like slam into your hip, and it hurts because it's going really fast inside the water, and the clench of pain that happens causes you to kind of lose your grip with one of your hands, and suddenly you're holding on now with your left hand, but your body is just being pulled, and so the rope itself is kind of swayed a little bit downstream by sort of deflected by a few degrees. As right now you're just kind of holding on barely with the one hand. Eldikar, you're about 10 feet behind him. So you're continuing to approach. I'll say Eldikar, make a dexterity saving throw. Edrahel, make another athletics check.
Oh gosh, okay.
As you attempt to get your other arm back over to the rope.
Oh, at 20.
20. Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
Double
All right,
20s.
so Eldikar, you immediately just hand over hand start pulling yourself a little bit faster as you see your buddy starting to struggle. Edrahel, right as you're trying to get your arm back, the river is pushing against you really, really hard. You can't. You're kind of being drugged down a little bit, so you're not able to just get your arm over the water. You kind of have to pull it against the force of the river itself. And right as you're about to grab onto it, another rock coming down the water slams into your waist and knocks you back again, and you start to kind of get back up. But right as you do, Eldikar comes up behind you. He manages to get you get sort of a hand on his the waist section of his pants and just kind of heave him closer. And as you do that, that gives you the momentum that you need, Edrahel, to grab back onto the rope with both hands, and you both start to continue moving across hand over hand. And that's where we're going to end today's session, with you guys wading the rushing river of the Sarn Gabir.